Hey everyone, Lesley Myrick here, interior designer and business coach with Nancy Quinn. We've got Peter and Alex from Daniel House Club today. Welcome, guys.
Hey, good to
Hey,
see you.
nice to be
Me
back.
too. I am excited because coming up, starting today, correct, is like the big secret but not so secret Daniel House Club sale.
Not secret at all.
All right, share about
Everybody
it. We,
needs
we
to
want to
know.
know.
We try not to tell your clients, but we want to tell every designer it's Founders Day, and Founders Day actually runs a few days, today through Saturday. It's the biggest sale we do throughout the whole year. If you are not a member, great time to go join because you can use the code Nancy50, get half off, and then get $250, and then get an extra 20% off your membership price on anything. Well, that's like hundreds of thousands of products. And if you sign up now, you might even get a free shipping benefit.
And just to clarify, like if you're on the signature tier, what does that mean your discount from retail could be?
It could be.
Oh, we have to do quick mental math. It could be like
Signature being
over
your highest tier,
60%.
right?
Yeah.
Signature. So on average, a signature member is getting about a 48.5% discount, roughly. That can vary by vendor.
Okay.
So an additional 20% off of that.
Yeah. So you
So
can
it's
be.
a darn good deal is what you're telling us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're already a member, easy enough. Go find some stuff. Fill up your own house.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go shopping now, guys.
Yeah. That is how I have
Exciting.
filled my house for the last 3 years. It's now full and I don't need more stuff, but
Club employees may be some of the biggest shoppers of the sale. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Business is business. But okay, that's a side note. That's not what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Although, if you are a designer, if you have to make purchases for yourself or a client, this is a great weekend to do it. But we're talking about what you are calling the future of full service design. Tell me, what is your vision for this? What is the future looking like? I know you guys are so tech forward, but what I love is that it's tech forward, but there's still the human component. So where is the future going? Tell us about this.
I like this title.
Well, yeah. So what I started in our little back green room together with you, Lesley, saying is I looked at this title and I thought, what are we talking about this morning? That's crazy. But I do think we always have the future of our industry in mind whenever we're creating something new for the designer. In fact, like what are they called? Our mission, our values here at Daniel House Club, the number one is put designers first. And so thinking about the future, I think a lot of, I don't know if they're necessarily our competitors, a lot of other people working to provide solutions to this industry, I think are doing it a little bit in the abstract, like, oh, this tool is so awesome. Designers will love it. And then you try to apply it to your daily work and it's like, no, I don't love this.
Like, no, I don't need this at all. What are you talking about?
So we try to be really focused on what are the designers telling us and not just what are they telling us, then what are they actually like acting on? And then we try to create very simple tools that will streamline how they work in the future.
We want to engage at kind of every step of the designer's business and find where they are, where you as a designer stop liking what you do, I think is a good way of putting it. And when you stop liking what you do, we want to take that on. And it's not something we're going to do instantly. We're not, we're growing slowly and strategically and trying to build up capacity to actually do those things really well. So, that's why we've always been around customer service and kind of tried to not rely too much on having you do all of the things on your own. Recently, we've added one more feature that you can self-serve. You can also work with a concierge who can set this up for you, but allows you to add other things to your bill. So we have a feature on the site, if you haven't used it, allows you to share a cart with your client. The client checks out, then we collect the payment. We send you the difference between the price the client paid and your cost at your membership tier. And that was always just the product on our site. Now you can add other things, like if you go for, if you shop for antiques, if you want to bill your own hours, if you just have something in your showroom or left over from another project, you can add that on to the same cart. Client checks out with one thing rather than multiple billing points. and it should,
okay.
and you get paid the same way. So it should be really, really easy.
So all your client billing, in theory, could go through Daniel House Club rather than needing another platform, if that makes sense for you.
Yep.
So do you have to have a cart already, or can you just create like an invoice from nothing in Daniel House Club, or a cart from nothing?
A cart you can create a board from nothing,
Okay.
and you can have an empty board and add those items to a board and then transform the board into a cart. So you don't have to have any Daniel House Club items on.
Okay, I was just curious. I would assume
Yeah.
most people would be adding on to something, like maybe they have their 5 Daniel House items and they're adding a procurement fee or another receiver fee or something like that. Is that how you mostly see people doing it?
That's typically how we're seeing it.
Fee is the most common. We see, it's actually kind of funny. Every once in a while we see things we also sell on our site.
People are buying from other places?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like maybe they already had it, or they have a showroom in town that they bought it from, which is great. Go shop in your local showrooms. But you can do whatever you want with it. The most common is billing hours, or a lot of people add their credit card fees on there.
Okay. Where it's legal, and that's important to know, is it's not legal everywhere to pass credit card fees on as a percentage.
I was actually, here's maybe a chance for some dialogue. I often tell designers not to pass on credit card fees. I think
that is what we coach as well.
Okay.
You're not a gas station is the approach Nancy and I have. You're not a gas station. This is a luxury service. Nickel and diming people for credit card fees doesn't sit well. And I think you should be positioning yourself with your pricing to absorb those fees. And hey, with you guys, that can actually be possible with product. I would say often designers are okay charging credit card fees on their design fees, but not on product, because they felt like that 3% hit was too much.
Yeah.
So there's a nice roundabout way of saying you can make a lot of good money on Daniel House, and you do not have to line item your clients the credit card fees and look broke.
Yes. Look, I think that's great. Yeah.
Because the reality is you probably
are. But you won't be if you bill your clients in that structure. You also get paid a lot faster. We switched maybe 2 years in when we ran a design firm to stop. I know that's not what we're talking about, but I just got interested. We stopped doing that, and we got paid a lot faster because people paid in credit cards and they got points and they were happy. And we got paid in like 1 day rather than 30 days. And
well, I know this is kind of a sidebar, but you're onto something, because you're right. The tier of people that most designers are working with, they're savvy. They want their credit card points. They want to be able to order through a digital platform, click, buy, done. They don't have to worry about it. And if you can consolidate that for them, if they're already going to a Daniel House cart to order product, you can add that line item for your procurement fee, for whatever else you might need. It's one less transaction. And I think you nailed it, Alex, is that you can get paid faster. People process that really quick.
Yeah, it's great. Well, anyway, the future of design is no credit card fees.
Well, yeah, and
I would agree with that. And in addition to Peter.
Also, we have just found that not only do you get paid faster because of the way that this is structured, but once again, like, people don't negotiate with what appears to be an e-com platform. So your design fees being added to this bill mean somebody is way less likely to come haggle with you over a couple of hours or however you've set that up, because they perceive it a little bit differently, I think.
That's another kind of weird side point, but the benefit of using this add to cart or add to custom line billings is what we call it, is that it goes in a cart that people aren't going to negotiate with as much. I also, we have a kind of grandiose vision for the future. There are a lot of things we want to start taking on over time. We're working on some accounting features that would make your life easier, especially in light of this. Like, if you're billing here, we can help you transform that process. We know a lot of designers do their own books to some extent. I don't advise that. I understand it's very expensive, but you can figure out ways. Getting a little ahead of myself. My point I was going to make is we love to hear from our members where you are getting stuck. So, like, what is the next thing we could build you that would help you feel more at ease in your job?
That's a great question. And if you have a suggestion, solution, idea, wherever you're watching the video, leave a comment, because I know your team will check it out. So will Nancy's team. I love that you are listening to us and you want to find out. You said it before we went live, just this idea of whenever designers hit a point where they hate or they get stuck, that's what you're hoping to fix.
Yeah, and if we can like step out of the sphere of Daniel House Club in the future, I think just the future of our jobs in general is going to be a lot more collaborative than it has been in the past. There are so many very accessible ways to get help now. And I think people are becoming aware of them in a way that even 3 or 4 years ago they weren't. So Alex says again and again things that, like the book, that keeping your own books. It's so frustrating to hear from designers that they're doing these sorts of things when it is so easy to outsource it and still bill your client enough that you can afford to do these things. Especially because the cost of having them done for you just continues to go down, even as everything else gets more expensive.
We do have some other smaller features we've recently rolled out that are, I don't want to say the future of design, but they're fun. We are working hard on improving search on our site.
Yes.
And
Okay. I'm excited.
It is a multifaceted journey. The most recent improvement is we now have in-collection search. So if you are going to sofas, you can just stay in that section and type in black sofa, and it'll hopefully get a lot of what you're looking for. So, that I think that page has like 100, that collection has like 100 pages.
Yeah.
So you can whittle it down without fiddling around with filters and just make it super easy.
That's awesome.
The other thing we are in the process of doing is actually applying back-end tags that you wouldn't really see that describe things in very natural words. So like oversized, or what are other things designers say? We did this whole spreadsheet with like terms designers use to describe things, and then have an AI tool that looks at the picture and says, okay, what's a natural way of describing this?
It's particularly helpful when you know the real term for it, but you're like, I don't know, that round table that's kind of squatty.
Yeah, squatty was one of them, I think. And so it's not, I want to prepare you. This is being applied to new products added, and we're working on a retroactive application and everything, but you'll be able to search those. You actually could search it now, but you only find like 50 things. Cool. And I'm excited about that because we did that because we're watching. I don't think we necessarily had a request, but see like what people are searching, and the yields weren't awesome. But we realized a lot of people weren't searching the precise like specification or description. They were searching random stuff that you're used to in Google, and Google, has perfected search for years, and they do it through natural language.
I love that you're working on that, because that is a pain point, and I've talked about this with my team and other designers, that like search shouldn't be hard anymore. You should be like, how is it so hard on certain vendor websites to get what you need? Like you can be so precise, and they're like, we're sorry, we don't have anything. You're like, I know you do.
I literally just thought.
Yes.
This just happened on our website, and then I went to the same vendor website and I tried it there. It also happened on their site. I put in the exact same name of the product, and it did not appear.
Didn't come up.
And I was like,
site?
It's if anybody's interested, back end, there are a lot of providers for search on websites, and they vary in their ability and their integrations. So it is actually pretty hard to do that. If Google I think Google used to make a tool for this, and I don't think they provide it anymore. But it was a lot better if you could just have Google search your website.
I love it. Well, I mean, I know specifically what we're talking about was the custom line billing, but I think but it's okay. But I'm circling this back. Don't worry. But the future of full service design is fast and easy, still with a high touch human component.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we can't be replaced, even though there's tons of AI tools and things like that. But if we, as designers with our expertise and presence with clients and services, can also have really smart, easy tech tools, fast, frictionless checkout processes and things like that, that is where this stuff is going.
Yeah, that is our ethos. How can we help you do things that aren't design so you can do more design?
Yeah.
I just have a question, like for the pro who's talking to designers all the time. way more than we are. When you talk about full service design, does that still and always mean like the client comes back and the house is perfect and you've done every single solitary thing for them? Or
It's a good question. I think for a lot of designers, the answer is yes. Like that big reveal is what people love, and it's a great thing to be able to deliver to clients. There's also the reality, like I'm doing a project right now where we're kind of ordering and installing in like 3 phases. So we're going to have a bunch of stuff in a couple months, but it won't be like, ta-da, like everything's on the
Right.
shelves. So in some cases, no. In a lot of cases, yes. This is like a big addition. So it's almost like a new build. And I think sometimes those are phased out a little bit. If it's a more contained renovation, remodel, full service design, I still like the big ta-da for
Yeah.
that. And I aim for that with full service.
Well, you get happy tears that way, you know. So
No, absolutely. But here's what's interesting is with the technology changing too, with like renderings, clients have already seen it. They know exactly what that room is going to look like, which is amazing. And it sells all the product. If you show a 3D rendering, it's a no-brainer for someone to click that link and purchase all the furniture from Daniel House and make it happen. So I don't want to say it's not as necessary, but you have less hesitation while people are waiting for those moments because they know where it's going. But truly, I mean, for full service, 100%, that's my goal, because you get every piece of furniture, every rug, every pillow, every plant, every book, just like, and
Yeah.
that's what can't replace, like AI cannot replace that physicality of being in a client's home with your eyes and making their purchases look perfect.
Interesting. I just asked because and I don't think I'm like recommending this to people in their business, but because I sometimes still take projects and I really don't have time to provide the full service.
Mhm.
I have had a lot of projects recently where I've said, okay, I can help you, but you need to kind of manage the calendar of this, or there are certain points where you're really helping out in this process. And I've actually loved it because it has reduced some of what they expect my responsibility is. And it's been maybe more profitable because I don't have to deal with some of these lingering issues that I never signed myself up for in the first place.
It's
You're
also
right.
a popular way that members use our share cart
Mhm.
system. They take on small projects, little things for friends that actually don't end up being a whole lot of work because they just send it. They'll add, products from our site, products from themselves, send to their client. They're done. We'll handle all the delivery. We can handle the arrangement of any logistics issues or processing. You get paid, you move on. And another plug for our Founders Day sale is the last 2 years, I've been told by members that they use Founders Day as a way to re-engage old clients and say, hey, if there's anything you need, I can get you free shipping or I can get you a small discount. And just let me know and I'll send you a cart. And it's not like a full service thing.
But they're still making
They still make quite a lot. I think somebody 2 years ago sold $40,000 just by doing that in a weekend. I was like, wow, you must have quite
There's a game plan for me for next Founders Day. I think that.
Yeah.
Or you could hop off the call now with us and get started on that. I bet you could sell 40 by the end of the day.
Right.
Challenge accepted. Well, before I wanted to touch on something before we go on though, but what you're talking about isn't full service, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Full service is its own thing. I think full service does have the full service component where you're doing everything from soup to nuts. What you're talking about, which I think is incredible service models, are things like designer for a day, when you're spending a day with someone, giving them some links, sending them the cart, moving on, or what we would call designer on call, which would just sort of like hourly consulting. I actually have a designer on call client who we got a sofa from Daniel House delivered today. And I say we, but I didn't do anything. I just picked the sofa and she bought it directly through the shopping cart and coordinated delivery. So yes, all of those ways are valid. There's different service models. And I love that Daniel House is kind of built to fit whether you're doing that full turnkey, full service and you're sending to a receiver, or if you're sending the cart to the client and they're doing some of it with your team. It really does work, I think, no matter where you are in business. And I will say when I started procurement, it was a hot mess express out there and not easy and very stressful. For newer designers, I think you guys are such a great entry point. You can make it, even designers that aren't doing those big full service projects yet, they can still make money procuring, and they can do their billing through Daniel House, and they can just make it simple and easy, focus on what they do best, and let your team handle the boring stuff.
Yeah.
We don't want to do.
I guess what I'm focused on is like I've always thought of full service design as like a little bit better. Like the overall outcome is going to be just a little bit more polished. And I'm finding now that's not always necessarily the case. You can structure your project a little bit differently where it costs your client a little less sometimes. You maybe are still making as much or more because you're not dealing with every single issue. And the end product is actually wonderful. It just takes a little bit of time to get there. So that's been just an interesting, eye-opening experience to me using Daniel House Club for my own clients.
But basically, future full service design should be simple.
Future full service design is like, you're not really doing anything. No, I'm kidding.
Well, no, we're doing what we do best as designers. And
yes, exactly.
That's why it's so much.
The relationships, the in-person. And I keep emphasizing that because, listen, AI is out there. It can do design. It doesn't, like, you're right. Some clients don't even need you anymore. It's okay. Don't worry about them. You don't want them anyway.
Yeah.
But you focus on you as a designer, what you can bring, your high touch experience, your expertise, and then make the tech wizards at Daniel House do their thing behind the scenes, and everybody wins. And it's a great.
You're happier. You're making more money. Your clients are happier. Everybody wins. We're happier.
We are. You got it.
Of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Well, thanks, Lesley. It's great to see you again.
You too. And good luck this Founders Day weekend, because I know you're going to get swamped with orders, and I might send my feelers out to some clients. That's such a great little tip there. Just hey, browse the site. Let me know if you want anything. I can get some better pricing this weekend.
Founders Day is happening 1 week early this year because one very important vendor had blackout dates on our preferred Founders Day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we moved it. And consequently, 2 salespeople are out on vacation. We love them very much, but the rest of our team is definitely on call. We'll say.
Don't use that as an excuse not to work as hard.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no, you're not going to stop me from ordering stuff. Don't worry about it. Well, guys, thank you so much. I hope Founders Day is a big success for you and for all the designers who are getting in on some extra savings and more profit in their pockets this weekend, which I think is a great thing. So thank you. And we will see you again.